When the 8th Fast and Furious installation came out, the feud between Vin Diesel and Dwayne Johnson made headlines. But was it a real one or just a way to create more palpable tension between the characters? Actually, Vin Diesel recently revealed what exactly happened back then. Let's find out why The Rock wasn't in Fast and Furious 9.
Stay the f*** out of my way.
Who threatened to leave the franchise if Johnson stayed in it? And how did Diesel manage to throw The Rock off balance with his tough love?
Of course I think you're stupid.
A different Hobbs. Let's start with how The Rock got the role in the Fast Saga in the first place. Because in fact, the casting crew had a completely different person in mind for the role of Luke Hobbs. He was supposed to be portrayed by Tommy Lee Jones. Wow, the character would have been completely different in that case. What changed their minds was a fan suggestion to cast Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in Fast and Furious. It was only because that fan wanted to see Vin Diesel and The Rock working together. Diesel thought about it and gave Johnson a call. The rest, as they say, is history. So the next step was to change the character originally written for Tommy Lee Jones and then see how Johnson would look as Hobbs. As Diesel himself said, the actor shined in that role. And in fact, he was so good that Fast 5, the film where Hobbs appeared for the first time, increased the worldwide box office returns on the Fast and Furious movies more than 3 times. Seems like everyone should have been happy about that level of success. After all, it was for everyone's good. But behind the scenes of the Fast Saga, the family ties between some of its stars weren't as tight as they looked on screen. The rocky start. It all began back in 2016. While shooting The Fate of the Furious, The Rock made a very interesting post. He said in it that some of his male co-stars conduct themselves as stand-up men and true professionals, while others don't.
I mean, you think he'd be able to put aside any petty rivalries to save the world?
The actor went on to add that in some of the scenes of the 8th film, he wasn't even acting as his blood was legit boiling. That post, which is now deleted, was #0tolerance for candy asses. And that was why his feud with Vin Diesel was eventually called the Candy Ass Feud. Although everyone suggested that Johnson was talking about the Toretto actor, to this day, we still have no idea who was honored with such a memorable epithet. And only 2 days later, The Rock wasn't so hostile anymore. He made another post, and here's what it said. To me, conflict can be a good thing when it's followed by great resolution. I was raised on healthy conflict and welcome it. It seemed like everything was resolved, until Johnson made another post to thank all of his Fast and Furious co-stars, except Vin Diesel. I mean, he couldn't just forget to mention Vin. The guy's literally the most important person in the franchise. That's when we realized that it was serious. And then Michelle Rodriguez confirmed the rumors. Any human being who knows what men are like knows to stay out of those situations and let them figure it out. This was the actress's only comment about it. When it comes to Diesel, it took him more than a few months to finally share his take on the feud.
That's exactly why I hate working with you.
And no, his words don't negate the rumors. It's not always easy being an alpha, and it's 2 alphas. Being an alpha is sometimes a pain in the butt, Diesel said to USA Today.
I was hoping you'd say that.
As a result of all these alpha male disagreements, Dwayne and Vin didn't have any scenes together in The Fate of the Furious. So it wasn't actually a surprise for most fans when we found out that Johnson wasn't in the 9th part of the franchise. One feud led to another. 2 years ago, in an interview with MTV News, Johnson explained that he was absent from the latest Fast Saga movie because he was busy with Hobbs and Shaw at the same time.
As of now, we're not in Fast 9 because they're getting ready to start shooting.
On the one hand, it sounds like a logical explanation. Not even The Rock can be in 2 movies at the same time, right? But you should know that the production of Hobbs and Shaw was almost wrapped up when F9 started to shoot. So Johnson's words seem a bit dubious because, in theory, he actually could have joined. Had he had enough of Diesel's treatment on the set? Maybe, but we'll talk about this later. Or did The Rock, in fact, fail to do it because of a lesser-known feud with another cast member? Prepare to be surprised as I'm talking about Tyrese Gibson. Yes, the actor behind the all-beloved Roman. It turns out that Tyrese Gibson really didn't want The Rock to be in the 9th installment. The guy even threatened to leave the series if Johnson rejoined the cast. To Gibson, it seemed like The Rock wanted to make the franchise all about his character when he agreed to star in Hobbs and Shaw. There were a couple of reasons why Gibson thought so. First of all, because of the spin-off production, shooting F9 was pushed back a full year. And one more thing. Gibson claimed that the saga has always been about the family. not individual characters.
So we're like the UN at this point.
So Johnson making a separate movie about Hobbs felt like a betrayal to him. The actor even added that he never agreed to, say, make a spin-off with Roman and Tej. The feud didn't stop with these accusations because the next thing Gibson did was call Johnson a clown and accuse him of using steroids. Damn. But luckily for everyone involved, the two actors finally managed to sort things out somewhere around Christmas last year.
And me and The Rock pieced up, by the way. We talked for 4 hours about 3 weeks ago.
It was a furious Christmas miracle, wasn't it? It's great that they managed to bury the hatchet, but it makes me wonder what Gibson thinks about the Hobbs and Shaw sequel now. Anyway, The Rock managed to make peace not only with Tyrese, but also with his original frenemy from the saga. Downplaying the feud. As fans were munching on the feud rumors, the two actors repeatedly mentioned how both of them were totally cool with each other. Johnson revealed to Entertainment Tonight that their beef was only due to different philosophies.
Fundamental philosophies on how you do things. And again, the most important thing is just the movie.
And Diesel shared in a red carpet interview that they still love each other and think of each other as family no matter what.
We still love each other. That's my boy. In my house, he's Uncle Dwayne, and I'm proud of that.
Isn't that sweet? Yep, even if you have feuds, they all end because you're family. To prove it once again, a couple of years ago, Diesel congratulated Johnson on two major events in his life. Firstly, on the success of Hobbs and Shaw.
A real shout out to Dwayne and Jason.
And then, even more importantly, Vin talked about his wedding to his long-term girlfriend, Laura Hashian.
Lauren's a special girl and you have a beautiful family.
And in his turn, Johnson thanked Diesel for welcoming him into the Fast family and making Hobbs and Shaw possible.
My goal was always, all these years, to come into the Fast and Furious world and help elevate the franchise in any way that I possibly could. If I could do that.
The actor ended his video with a hint that we're going to see Hobbs and Dom on the set together once again.
All roads lead to one thing. I'll be seeing you soon, Toretto.
But more on that later. Meanwhile, let's find out about Vin's unexpected revelation. It recently turned out that Diesel knew why the feud had started between him and The Rock. I would do anything I'd have to do in order to get performances in anything I'm producing, the actor explained to Men's Health. And here's what he meant by that. Diesel revealed that he had to give The Rock a lot of tough love to see him perform in a certain way, because he doubted at the time that an ex-wrestler could do it on his own. What exactly he did to get what he wanted from Johnson remains unknown. But this treatment is, in fact, what led to the infamous feud between them. Maybe Dwayne didn't like it that Vin thought of him as nothing but a wrestler who didn't know a thing about acting? If so, then The Rock had a point, because he had already been in many movies by the time he joined Fast 5 and had proven himself to be a pretty good actor.
Trying to save the world, by the way, for a 4th time because I'm really good at it.
So it still seems like the feud was nothing but a clash of two alpha male egos. And it's a good thing that these two huge hunks managed to make peace by setting aside their egos and putting their shared passion first. The only question that remains is, will The Rock return? Well, as the actor himself once said to MTV News, you never say never in the Fast and Furious universe. Even the dead stop being the dead there, remember? So there's nothing that's stopping Hobbs from getting together with Dom and the crew once again. It would, in fact, be pretty logical for him to come back.
There's unfinished business between Hobbs and Dom. It's unfinished.
That's right. Besides, Johnson certainly wouldn't allow some feud to keep him from a series he clearly loves. As you remember, he said that he'd always wanted to join the Fast Saga and was happy when it happened.
I'll ride with you, Toretto.
And here's one more thing that will make the return of Hobbs all the more epic. John Cena, who's also a former wrestler, is now part of the franchise. Can you imagine how awesome an on-screen showdown between them would be? So let's keep our fingers crossed that they will make this happen. If you liked this video, watch another one we made about the behind-the-scenes facts of the Fast Saga. And stay awesome!